I mean, even in Canada, we've had rioting with that whole G4 summit thing.
Yeah. Oh god, that was hilarious to listen to on the news the day after.
Well, even still, it really makes me think that we're about due for a big change. I mean, there's so many things that are not going the way they were meant to, the way the people who founded all these countries imagined things going. I mean, they had these lofty ideals.
Like the American Dream.
Well,
Canada's...
the American Constitution in general.
Yeah.
I mean, they've broken that so many damn times. It's horrendous. I mean, have you ever taken the time to read it?
No, I haven't because I'm not American.
You should take the time sometime, though. It's inspirational, and it makes a hell of a lot of sense. And they've gone against it so many times. So many times. They still are. And I'm just wondering when the people are actually just going to listen to what the Constitution says and, actually rise up. I mean, they say that the people should be there to keep the government in check. Not the other way around.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're not the first person I've heard that from the last couple of weeks, actually. I've heard it from a couple of other podcasters that I've been listening to and stuff. And even from on the radio and stuff, they've been talking more about the people monitoring the government instead of the government monitoring the people.
Yeah, well, that's how it was meant to be. That's the way they wanted the country to be run.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of their ideals. And yeah, sure, you won't be a superpower that way, but you'll certainly be on the right side of morality.
Yeah.
Certainly won't be so top-heavy anymore.
Yeah, the problem is there's always a, there's the one side which is the dream, and then the other side which is reality. And unfortunately, reality is sometimes not the same as the dream.
The dream has actually worked in this situation of the people being in power. That's actually worked in a few cases in older civilizations, like the ancient Greeks. They had all these city-states, and pretty much every week they would have new people elected into power. And they'd all be by a council. You wouldn't have someone who's like at the head of it. And everybody, no exception, would get a chance to put in their say.
Yeah,
it's not like now where people get a chance to vote sometimes on some things,
and
they never do.
Yeah. Or the council just kind of decides for them. It's like situations like actually I just saw on the radio this morning. There's a lot somewhere up in North Bay area. There's a lot where they're going to put a institution or a housing for teenagers who are troubled.
Yeah.
And the local neighborhood wants them to lower the capacity to 10 beds so that it stays small and so that they don't they don't take over more land for this stupid institute of troubled youth. The neighborhood wants to keep the land they have already for like a park or something like that, and not just this institute. And the council gets the final say, but like there's people like in the neighborhood who are protesting on the news and stuff. But then the news anchor goes and says,
"So why do these people hate children?"
Well, no, it's not that. It's just that they want to what they're doing is they're building this building and keeping part of the land that they've gotten, so they can and a lot of the neighborhood is afraid that they're going to keep that land so that they can just expand later, and they don't want this thing to really be there. So, and unfortunately, there's nothing they can really do because the council of North Bay has the final say.
Yeah.
So it's an example of what you were saying. It's like where there's not enough people nowadays that actually get we don't get the public itself doesn't get a say in things. It's just
or if they do get a say, they don't. A lot of times they don't actually exploit it. Like say voting in a new leader of your country. Most of the people over in this part of the world don't vote. It's a sad state of affairs.
Yeah.
So it's like this minority of people decides who gets to be in power and who gets to rule over us all. I mean, I do my part. I vote every chance I get.
Yeah,
Same here.
Yeah.
So we're doing our part.
Are you?
Yes.
Join the mobile infantry of the cultists.
Yes. Earn your citizenship.
And help us bring the elder gods to Earth.
Well, maybe not that part. That's entirely optional.
Well, it would bring change.
Yeah.
Change?
Not the best kind of change, but definitely change.
Regardless,
to summarize all of this. So, world's going to hell in a handbasket. Riots everywhere. countries that are assholes and nobody's doing anything about it. We're due for a revolution in many places. Maybe not World War III, although it is a...
Probably just a smaller...
It could
It'll-
potentially be a possibility. I mean, people have been talking about it forever now.
That's the
And
thing,
it's,
though.
you know,
It's-
never
They've
happened,
been talking about
but-
it, but it doesn't actually happen.
Yeah. So it's a possible maybe.
I believe if we do get one, it'll be when we least expect it.
Well, that's the way most wars go.
Well, not really. We all saw freaking the Gulf War coming. I mean, except for after the towers went down. But
Well,
after that, we all
yeah.
knew that there was going to be some kind of Gulf War when the Americans went into Iraq and Afghanistan and stuff. Because
Yeah.
we knew that there was nothing there. They were just like, it was so clear that they were just going in to get on a revenge trip.
Well, yeah.
And
Although-
oil.
Yeah,
They-
and
they-
the oil, yeah. Well, that was the
Well,
other big thing.
All right, then. Explain to me. Where's the oil that they supposedly have gotten? It's still there.
Yeah, because they never got it.
Exactly.
They're working on it.
No, they aren't.
Yeah.
Prove it.
They're training their own government officials to make it a non-hostile area
So that they
so
can
that they can get them to make the oil, to get the oil out of there and back here.
I think you're nuts.
It's lucky.
As far as I know, they just pretty much did it as a revenge thing.
Yeah.
Both against Saddam and against the Taliban.
And it
Even
really,
though Saddam had nothing to do with it.
I really hate to say it, but
And,
is Iraq really any... I mean, look at all the... If you want to talk about riots, look at all the riots that are going on in Iraq right now, or in those countries, because of this Gulf War. And but it was the same stuff that was happening.
Really?
when
They're
Saddam
actually
was-
much better off than they were.
Yeah, but I mean, they're still...
Because before, if they tried to riot, they'd be shot.
Yeah, but they're still we're still losing. Like I think last year we lost like 2 or 3 people of power that were going to be elected in those countries
Yeah.
because
But
of
Part of the problem
assassinations.
is that all these assholes that are coming in and doing all the killing in Iraq are not Iraqi. They're coming in from Iran and surrounding countries. This has been a well-established fact, but nobody's... Well, they haven't been given the go-ahead to go into those places.
Yeah.
So they're basically confined to this one country that's been freed of its dictator and has democracy, but they
The problem
basically
is they're surrounded by
they're,
dictators.
they're stuck fighting a defensive war. Without the ability to advance, they're going to be stuck there for a good long time.
Yeah. The thing is, like, we have one country over there that... Well, I guess there are a couple of countries over there that are... they're now diplomatic, or now a lot more, democratic.
Yeah.
The problem is, they're surrounded on all sides by hostile forces.
Yes, that is the...
So it's like
that's
clowns to
that's
left
the
of me,
crux of the problem right there.
jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with Jews.
That's terrible.
I know. I'm gonna get such hate mail.
You better. I encourage all of you listening to send this guy hate mail. You can say, E.G. Hitcraft sent you. Anyhow, we should probably close up now, because this thing has dragged on for a while.
Yeah.
So, any closing statements, anyone? Anyone? Bueller?
Bueller.
Mikey, you've
Well,
been awfully
this was
quiet.
our-
Anything to say?
Yeah.
Any thoughts on the matters? The subjects at hand?
Stuff and things.
You're terrible at this. You're fired. Get out. Don't come back.
Back to the pit in which we spawned you.
By the way, I'd like to point out that I had absolutely no hand in spawning at all. So, just throwing that out there.
I take full credit.
Ugh.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
If you would like to send any hate mail to the cultist, please send it to reviewoccultist@pointsofexperience.com.